Hey there guys, in this tutorial we're going to talk about retirement savings plans. Yay! No, my Hannah, who is doing the filming for me, she's 19 and she just said, "Ooh, how boring." I get that guys, I understand that it's boring, but in the not too distant future, you are going to be working, if you're not already, and your employers may well set up retirement savings plans for you. Now in Australia, these retirement savings plans are called superannuation. In New Zealand, it's called superannuation. In England, it's called they're called pension plans. The US, they're called 401ks, and in Canada, they're RSPs. So they all have different sorts of names, but they all have one purpose. And that purpose is to make sure that you have enough money to live off when you retire. Because if you don't have enough money to live off when you retire, if you haven't accumulated enough, you're going to have a pretty miserable retirement. So little things done well right now can make a huge difference to your quality of life in your latter years. Now again, I know that's an awfully long way away, but I just want to remind you of the impact of compounding. If you remember, we've talked about this a couple of times now, and I'm going to talk about it again in Module 8, is if we could, and I'm not saying you go and do this straight away, but if by 18, let's just say we put $10,000 into our equivalent of a retirement savings plan, so superannuation for Australians, if we put $10,000 in there, and let's just say we could grow that at 8% per annum because we've invested it, and I'm going to talk about more about this in Module 8, but invested it means that the value of it's growing without us having to do anything, it's like earning interest. If we can increase it by, I haven't put it there, by 8% per annum, it would be $500,000 by the time we get to retire. 10,000 becomes $500,000. So you can see the power of putting little bits of money into your retirement savings plan can make a huge difference. Just $10,000 will make a massive difference to your retirement. And that's assuming you don't put anything else in the years in between. So let's just have a look at exactly what your average retirement savings plan is. Now remember, they're different for every single country, so I'm being very generic here. But what simply happens is, typically a retirement savings plan is like an account. You have an account number like you would at the bank, money goes in there, money can earn interest in there. But with your retirement savings plans, typically the money inside your account can be invested in all sorts of things that are going to help grow your money. So it might be cash, it might be fixed interest, like term deposits, those sorts of things, bonds, property. So you know property, you live in a house, so it could be house property, it could be factories, it could be office blocks, it could be shops, it could be all sorts of things that your retirement savings plan is investing in. And it could be shares, which are a part ownership in companies that we all know, like Google and Apple and Amazon. You can invest in those, and as they grow in value, so does your investments. Now, what happens is typically your employer will set up a retirement savings plan for you, and they will put money into it. A portion of every pay that you earn will go into that. You can also choose to put some money in there, and sometimes there are government incentives or employer incentives that if you do put a bit of extra money in there, then it will be matched by either your employer and in some cases the government. So in Australia, the government has a thing called the government co-contribution. So if you're earning less than $37,000, you could put in $1,000 and they would match it with $500. It's free money. And so they're often, employers will do the same sort of thing. So what I would encourage you to do from this is take an interest in your superannuation, because it is your money and one day it's going to be what you have to live off. So if you would like to be traveling and doing lots of fun things in your retirement years, then starting small with small amounts regularly now is going to make a big difference at the end of the day. If there are incentives that your government, if the government or your employer offers, if you put in some money, they'll match it, please take it up. They're giving you free money, and as I said, small amounts of money now will grow to huge amounts of money in the future. So there we go, guys. I just want you to take an interest in this. I know it's a boring topic, but small amounts done now can make all the difference down the track.